What up? What up, guys? It is Bishop here with an 8 years later post-op update. So many messages that I'll receive off of YouTube on different networks have been around my ACL, MCL, PCL surgery. Now, when I started those kind of weekly or so videos, the goal was to hope, encourage, uplift not only other people, but myself, right? Because it was summer, I was gonna miss outside and all the fun. It was May 4th is when I had the surgery. So there was a lot of, in my mind, the mental of, man, I'm not gonna be able to cut grass. I'm not gonna be able to go to the pool. I'm not gonna be able to play basketball. I'm not gonna be able to play softball, fill in the blank. Ironically, my softball team that year won the championship in my absence. So you could put 2 to 2 together. Anyway, I would receive emails and messages and whatever from so many different people who had a very similar surgery or injury, or maybe just an ACL, reconstructive surgery. So just recently, I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 messages within the past month of someone saying, hey, how you doing? Could you give us an update? So I'll say this, knee is fine. I've been able to do pretty much recreationally everything I was able to do before the injury. I'm over the mental hurdle. I no longer wear my athletic Berg brace playing softball. I had one of my teammates last season just plain out say to me like, yeah, I had a knee surgery too. I used to wear the brace and then one day I didn't and I just stopped. He goes, you have to just kind of get over it and just stop. Because it had been about 6-7 years since my surgery. It was kind of like, why are you still wearing that brace? Trust it, just go with it. And so I did. And so far I haven't retorn anything. When it comes to flag football, I might wear the brace just because you're doing a lot of cutting. You're not doing like as much with softball. You're mainly running in straight lines. But overall, I'm very happy with the progress. I'm very grateful. I believe that the Lord had his hand in healing and getting me back to the point of where I'm at right now. So I want to say that. I want to encourage any of you out there, if you have had an operation like that, to listen to the doctors. They know best, but then also, lean into your support group and people around you, like I had to. And like I try to do is just stay in the word and stay active in prayer through that process. In fact, most of the time when storms in life come, I feel like that's when I personally am closer to God because I'm in communication with him more so. Like, help me, get me out of this, versus when life is not so much chaotic, I'm not talking to him as much. So that was free. But that's just for me. I had the one doctor look me in my eye and say, I doubt one day you'll even be able to play in your front yard with your kid. And I referenced that multiple times because he said it was like my knee got hit by someone running full speed with a football helmet down. Then I went and got a second opinion. So I always encourage multiple opinions. Just like if you're getting a quote or an estimate for a job, get multiple different sources telling you because it's a major operation. And not only am I playing all the time with my kids, but I was able to run a half marathon. My first one was 3 years ago. So I've actually ran a half marathon every year, the same one, almost as part of it's probably a little bit of pride, but almost as a, like, look at me type, like I was able to do this. In fact, last year I called my brother-in-law Logan immediately after the race crying because I wasn't in shape. I didn't train. I only ran like 5 times. I ran 1 mile, 3 miles, 5 miles, 7 miles, 9 miles, and then race day is when I ran the 13-1. And that was dumb. I shouldn't have done that, but my body was just sore. And I remember crying, but I remember feeling this, like I did this. Like this one doctor did not believe that with my surgery that I would even be able to do this minimal thing. And here I am running a half. And I know there's a full out there, right? But I enjoy the halves because it's to me, the mental hurdle's over. Like I'll run a half marathon, no problem. I'll be a little sore, but I'm able to do it without my knee being in my mind. This past half marathon, I ran it as Hulk Hogan because, and this is why it's kind of also my half marathon journey. The first time I ever ran a half marathon, I didn't know what to expect. And so I trained a lot. I was running all the time. Our house was under a reconstruction renovation. So we were living at my wife's grandparents' house at the time. And so I was running around the neighborhood and I was doing incremental runs. I was doing 1 and then I was doing 2, then 3, all the way up to like 11, 12 miles. And I remember feeling, because I was doing it so consistently, I remember feeling good. And I'd run at night a lot of times, so I would have flashlights in my arms. So even my arm muscles, I felt like were building up. And I never ran a half. I didn't have anyone show up at the race. I didn't run it with anyone. I just kind of did it by myself because I had heard from multiple people like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to do a half marathon too, or, oh, it's just a half. But I just was like, you know what, I'm doing it. And I signed up through my work and I did it. And I felt really accomplished that I was able to do it. Walked to my car, went to McDonald's, got a sandwich, Diet Coke, no ice, drove home, and continued throughout my day. Like, obviously very sore. But it was one of those things where I had heard from many people like, oh, it's difficult. I doubt you'll be able to. Oh, what about your knee? But I just had to do it. I had to try. Even if I would have got to mile 6 or 7 and just collapsed in the sense of my knee was in too much pain, I tried. Like, I put my effort in. Then last year, my second time running it, like I said, I didn't train like I want. And I thought, okay, I can do this. Mentally, I knew I could do it. Physically, I should have trained more. This past year, I probably ran 7 or 8 times maybe in total, but I weighed less than what I did the year prior. But also going as Hulk Hogan, and this is where it's funny because I bought the costume for a 4th of July party and it was fun because real American man. What happened with wearing Hulk Hogan on July 4th and some of the deep, awesome stories that I might have to share at some point, I thought, okay, maybe this could happen again. And it did. Like, I ran it, and there were the serious runners who were like, looked at me and thought, oh, he's making a mockery, or this is a joke to him. Like, forget him. He's annoying. Like, I remember I was walking to the race line and someone said, like, look at that guy. What a joke. Like, is he serious? Like, he's not. And I remember one of them said something like, I bet he's doing the 5K because they have like a 5, a 10, a half marathon, etc. I just ignored it, ran it with my buddies. And it was so amazing how many people would run by me going like, Hulkster, hey brother, all of that stuff. Incredible. After the race, multiple pictures with people I didn't know. People encouraging, saying like, I love that you don't care what you look like, that you're in this for fun. I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to dress as a funny character. Like, this is great. I had people smiling that, probably maybe needed a smile. I had one guy run half of a mile of the race with me, talking to me the whole time we were running. Like, took out his earbuds and just wanted to have a conversation. Like, oh, this is so crazy. I love it. Will you take a picture with me and my brother when we get back? I'm like, absolutely. Incredible journey. So I was able to run the half marathon. And then even more so of an accomplishment, in my opinion, is I just did this past weekend a 5K mud run, like a Tough Mud or a Spartan race. And I had never done one before. So it was the Beast at the East Fork Lake in Ohio. And I did it with my niece and nephew. It was sick. It was incredible. I was only on a few hours of sleep. I got a vlog coming that we did together for that. And I was so proud that I didn't have to stop for myself. Every obstacle I was able to accomplish on the water, the floating thing, ran across it, no problem. Got down and dirty, got real muddy on the camo crawl underneath the netting for the mud crawl. Just felt really accomplished. And so whether it be a half marathon, whether it be a 5K mud run or whatever, and I've done other 5Ks since then, I'm doing it. And I'm trying my hardest. And so thank you all for the love and support. Thank you all for the messages and the emails that I'll still receive about it. No glory to me. Very fortunate, very grateful for the healing that I feel like God has provided. And not to sound cliche, but I truly believe that if you put your mind to something and you got a lot of haters, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.
Go Andy!